This video is sponsored by Squarespace. It seems like new paints are coming out all the time. So before you spend your money, I'm testing every new paint that has come out in the past year right here, right now. Remember to watch part 1 of this video, which will be linked right here. Okay, let's get into it. The Cuddlefish Genesis line provides the perfect colors to paint this Norseman that my Dungeon Master has been waiting for. The Cuddlefish Genesis line offers pure liquid pigment which dries down to a matte finish. The paints are designed to be incredibly opaque, super smooth, and build up to brilliant levels of saturation. These paints layer smoothly, so texture concerns are minimal, and the thin consistency applies beautifully, requiring only minor thinning, which they recommend doing with their Merlin's Magic Medium. Though thinning these paints was easy, I would be remiss not to use the other paints from the Cuddlefish colors, which are almost entirely glaze consistency right out of the bottle. The Genesis paint line offers 32 intriguing shades. The Genesis 1 box is rather muted and desaturated, which is definitely a vibe, it's just not my vibe. But the Genesis 2 box has a lot more standard colors like red, yellow, and green. With only 32 colors, I would definitely have expected there to be more variety. However, these 32 colors do match perfectly with the rest of the Cuddlefish color line. So considering what I would like to see or expect to see in a line of opaque paints compared to how this fits within the rest of the line, I give this a 2 out of 5. These paints are sold in boxes of 16 and cost $84. But individual bottles are not available at this time. These paints break down to be about $5.25 per bottle. These bottles are quite large at 22 milliliters, giving them a price of about 25 cents per milliliter, which is average for the paints I've talked about in this video, giving them a 3 out of 5. These paints can be purchased off of the Creature Caster website, but individual bottles are not available at this time. So if you want just a few colors, you'll have to go to a third-party retailer at a rather increased price. Finally, these paints are frequently sold out, making them difficult to get your hands on, giving them a 2 out of 5. The paints were smooth and most of them were rather opaque. The colors I had trouble with were colors that are known problems, and overall, these paints were quite nice to work with. So I give them a 3 out of 5, or average. In the end, these paints are rated 10 out of 20. And unfortunately, I won't be keeping these in my paint collection. The paint themselves are fine. They just don't have the colors that I'm looking for. But if these are colors that you like, this is a pretty good set of paints. The paints are a little annoying to get your hands on, but I love Creature Caster's models, so if you're going to be buying their models anyway, just tack these on and you'll probably be happy with them. Before we continue, let's talk about Squarespace and their magic new feature, Squarespace Blueprint. Choose from professionally crafted layouts, customize them to reflect your style quickly, and utilize Squarespace's drag and drop fluid engine for enhanced control. Seamlessly integrate your social media and accelerate your growth with integrated, optimized SEO tools. Seriously, Squarespace Blueprint is magic, and I can only dream of army painting one day being this easy. No matter if you're selling products, classes, or showing off your work, Squarespace Blueprint will save you so much time, giving you more time to finish those gray models. When you're ready to start, head to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, use code LYLAMEV to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Alright, back to painting. This wouldn't be a good review of new paints if I didn't at least mention the Army Painter Fanatic paints. I've talked about these in 2 other videos, which you can watch here, so let's just do the rubric. The line has 216 colors, 162 acrylics, 18 metallics, 18 effects, and 18 washes. And of course, the triad system, which I've talked about before, is pretty cool. The metallics are great with a variety of colors and a smooth application with true metallic shine. The washes I got were pretty boring, but were quite nice. I don't use washes very often, but I like their intensity and flow. Army Painter has come out with some really cool colors, like shades of magenta and purple, that I would love to try in the future. But overall, I wish that there were more vibrant colors in the set, as most of them are rather muted and desaturated. But I understand why they did that to make the triads work easier. So considering those two opinions, I give them a 4 out of 5. The complete box set is $759 with sample boxes ranging in price from $40 to $200. Individual bottles cost $4.25 and the bottles are 18 milliliters, putting them at about 0.23 cents per milliliter, which is on the lower side of average, so I'm granting them a 4 out of 5. These paints are and will be amazingly easy to get. Any hobby store that sells paints will probably have these, and you can buy them a bunch of places online, including Amazon. Therefore, I have to give it a 5 out of 5. The paints are quite opaque across the range, but they are a bit thicker than what I would like. A little bit of thinning makes them just fine, but compared to other paints on the list, I don't like the consistency of these as much as others. I'm still gonna give them a 5 out of 5, but it is a low 5 out of 5. So in the end, these paints are an 18 out of 20. Personally, these aren't my favorite paints out of everything that I talked about, but apparently these are the winners, at least overall. So our rankings between the two videos are Huge Miniatures with a rating of 8 out of 20, Cuddlefish Colors with 10 of 20, Too Thin Coats and Adam Smart Paints with 12 of 20, and then Army Painter Fanatic with an amazing 18 out of 20. However, to be totally honest, I think that I'm going to cannibalize a lot of these paints, and instead I'm going to put my favorite Duncan Rhodes paints in here, because those were the paints that I actually really liked. The Too Thin Coats fill a similar niche to the Fanatic paints, but are a thinner consistency, and the Vibrants are actually vibrant. The Fanatic line does have better triads, but personally that isn't important to what paints I'll be keeping on my desk. Alongside my new Too Thin Coats paints, the paints from Big Child Creative and Ammo Paints are also finding a new home on my desk. They are super intense and vibrant, are an amazing consistency, and I have no doubt they will create magic with my favorite Chimera paints. Lastly, the Cuddlefish Colors and Huge Miniature paints will be leaving my office. The Cuddlefish Colored paints were actually pretty nice, but I just wasn't reaching for them due to their colors. The Huge Miniature paints didn't work for me with my style of painting, and though I love the company overall, there just isn't any point in me keeping them. But I want to know your thoughts. What did you think of my rating breakdown? Are there paints that I missed? Let me know in the comments, what paints will you be buying and what paints will you be skipping? If you like what I do, you know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe. Go join me on Patreon where you can get access to behind the scenes content for just $2 a month. All right, thanks so much. I'll see you guys next time.